Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages and at all stages of life. Quality health coverage, it's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Each week at this time we're going to take a look at our local college sports programs. We begin with the honor roll of local college athletes, brought to you by M&T Bank. At M&T Bank, we're listening, learning, and working hard to understand what's important to Western New York. It's what we've been doing since 1856. M&T Bank, understanding what's important. In at number 3, Damari Nelson of unbeaten St. John Fisher helped to keep the Cardinals that way with 2 interceptions in the red zone in the final 3 minutes of Fisher's 31-24 win over Cortland. In at number 2 this week, Geneseo's Lauren Salzano won her matches at first singles and first doubles versus Fredonia to help the Knights secure the number 1 seed in the West Division for the upcoming SUNYAC tournament. And topping this week's list, University of Rochester quarterback Daniel Bronson had 5 TDs, all coming in the last 18 minutes of play. 3 rushing and 2 passing to lead the Yellow Jackets to a comeback 55-27 win over Alfred State. Time now for our local college spotlight athlete of the week. The goaltender in field hockey is often underappreciated, and for the University of Rochester, an All-American has returned to the team to pass on her knowledge to the next generation. When Penfield native Tara Lamberti's playing career came to an end at the University of Rochester, the Yellow Jackets lost one of the most successful goaltenders in a long line of great stoppers. But much to the delight of head coach Wendy Andriata, they gained a great addition to their staff.
And when she indicated that she might be staying locally, I was all over her and trying to get her to come help out. She was a great mentor to our 2 juniors, Gabby and Kieran, and I knew with 2 freshmen coming in that it would be an invaluable resource to have a talented goalkeeper on staff.
A 2-time All-American at Rochester, Lamberti's collegiate success led to an amazing opportunity back in January. She was invited to the United States national team trials, the only Division III player to be asked. And now that she is working with the current Jacket Keepers, some of what she picked up with Team USA is being used with Team U of R.
Her being in the the USA trials, she definitely brought some drills that they did at the USA trials here, and so we do some of those drills, which is really interesting.
Yeah, at first it was definitely a little bit intimidating, especially coming from a background where I didn't have as much goalkeeping coaching. But once you get to know Tara, she's really nice and always has a joke, very funny. So that kind of lightens the mood a little bit, but definitely very intense and aggressive. But it's very helpful to have a coach who wants to push us to really reach our full potential.
It can be kind of intimidating to train alongside someone who has been so successful and is so good. But with Tara, that has never been the case. Even when she was a player, she was a teacher.
I came in as a freshman and she was amazing. And she was pretty much our mentor for the last 2 years, just building up our confidence, building up our skills. And now having her as a goalkeeping coach is really interesting because she knows how we play, she knows what we look like at our best and at our worst, and it's more geared towards us. So we will do agilities for 30 minutes before we even put our pads on to get our explosiveness and everything up. And then she'll actually have drills that are geared towards us.
Instead of just thinking about with the level that we're at now, you're kind of thinking forward and thinking, okay, so even if I played well in high school or I played well in college, there's always another level that we can reach. So just having Tara to show us the progression that a great goalkeeper can have has really helped all of us, I think.
So what does it take to be a successful goalie in field hockey? Helps to be a little fearless. Tara had her mask split in half by a shot at the US trials. There's also another skill that is crucial.
Agility, I would say, after spending time with Tara, is definitely the most important skill to have. being able to move from point A to point B in a split second is really the most important skill to be able to have.
You definitely need to be agile. You need to be quick on your feet, because if you're not, you will not save a ball, because the balls are coming at around 30 miles an hour.
Kieran and Gabby, both coming into their spring of their sophomore year with Tara having graduated, we decided that we were going to play them equally as long as we could, as long as the statistics and the work was about equal. And so far they've been shining. Gabby's been playing the first half, Kieran's been playing the second half, and both goalkeepers have done a fantastic job of keeping the ball out of the goal.
It also helps to have a coach who knows what it takes to play at the highest level and will do whatever it takes to make sure the next batch of Yellow Jacket keepers continues to excel. When we return, JC DeLass welcomes RIT cross-country coach Dave Swarth into the Coach's Corner. And later on, Kim Burnson has our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave. All that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat continues. As we head to break, here's a look at the Nazareth Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Nazareth College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the Geneseo Athletes of the Week, brought to you by SUNY Geneseo. Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Each week, JC DeLass from WYSL Radio will help to get us know an area coach better with the Fidelis Care Coach's Corner. The Fidelis Care Coach's Corner is presented by Fidelis Care, quality health coverage. It's our mission.
This is JC DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner, and our guest this week is Dave Worth, now in his 20th season as men's cross country and men's and women's track and field coach at the Rochester Institute of Technology. Coach, 20 years at RIT, you have seen tremendous growth in athletic programs here. How has that helped your program specifically?
When I came here, we didn't even have women's cross country. And when I walked in the door, I remember we had 5 women in our program. Now we have close to 50. Our men's program has grown hugely during that time, at least doubled. We've added conferences, so with the Liberty League Conference, we have a lot more competitive race situation for our teams, and so we've grown just almost exponentially since I've been here. And it seems kind of hard to imagine those days now that we've gotten so big.
From your standpoint, is it more important to recruit talent or fine-tune the kids once you get them here?
Absolutely fine-tune the kids once you get them here. We have a tremendous coaching staff here with our throws and jumps and sprints. And it allows us to take kids who, even in their high school settings, weren't performing at a high level and move them to conference scores or possibly even NCAA qualifiers. Kids in running and jumping and throwing really grow at my age group. So when they're 18, they're at a certain level. When they're 22, they're at a much bigger level. So we have a lot of opportunity to help them grow.
In terms of running, is it possible then to teach someone to run faster, or do they just have to have that natural ability?
Oh, you can absolutely teach them to run faster, no doubt about it. There's a technique, there's skill sets to that. Whether they're a hard sprinter or a really short sprinter, we can do a lot of technical stuff with them to help them improve, or even with our distance runners who are good cardiovascularly but might have mediocre running form, we can really help them improve in that area. That's a lot of the focus of what we spend our time on.
When you're recruiting, is there a certain type of student athlete that you're looking for to bring to RIT?
It's the school that recruits first and foremost, so they have to have largely a technical way of thinking, and that actually works with what we're doing. So when we bring them in and they're technical thinkers, we can help them with skill sets, with specific things they might be working on, especially when you look at throws and jumps, for example. So we're looking for really those kind of technical kids.
Cross country, track and field, they don't necessarily grab the headlines, but I'll tell you, in 20 years, you've had some tremendous athletes here, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some great success. Most recently, Matt Giannino, who is one of our greatest distance runners we've had in our program. It's been fun to work with these really high-achieving kids. We've had some great alumni. We've had a young man right now, Zach Miller, who was one of the best mountain racing runners in the United States of America. He's about 5 or 6 years out. He really grew in our program as well. So it's been fun working with high-achieving kids.
Last thought, your best part about coaching here at RIT for you?
Watching kids improve. So you hit on it earlier. That's exactly what we love doing. Seeing a young man, I'm thinking of one particularly right now, who comes in and is just barely making a team and is a captain and a conference champion as a senior. It's really something special.
Thanks for joining us, Coach.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner.
Kim Burnson is up next with our Scholar Athlete, and later on, a powerhouse team from last season might be even better this year. We'll explain later on when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. Before we go to break, here's a look at the RIT Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the Rochester Institute of Technology. As we come back from break, here's a look at the SUNY Brockport Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the College at Brockport.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave Digital Audio Visual Environments.
Where can you go to get expert advice and installation on TVs, sound systems, and automation for your home, car, or business? Come see Dave. Digital Audio Visual Environments. ComeSeeDave.com.
This week, our Scholar Athlete is Sayaka Abe of the University of Rochester. As a senior, Sayaka is wrapping up a chemical engineering major while playing field hockey for the Yellow Jackets. She's a midfielder that has been named First Team All-Liberty League and First Team All-Region. On top of being honored for her accolades on the field, Sayaka has been on the NFHCA All-Academic Honor Roll for 3 straight years. She's also one of 10 U of R athletes to be presented with the 2016 Garnish Scholar Award. For her effort on the field and in the classroom, Sayaka Abe is this week's Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave. Now, with a look at our college calendar, here's Dave Yates.
The action starts this afternoon when Nazareth Field Hockey hosts Skidmore, and on Wednesday, Naz is at home against the U of R. Tuesday has the U of R women's soccer team hosting Naz. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Wednesday, Geneseo Field Hockey hosts Fisher, also at 7 p.m. Also at 7 on Wednesday, Fisher Volleyball goes against Naz. Friday, Brockport men's soccer plays SUNY New Paltz at 3. Then the Golden Eagles host Oneonta on Saturday afternoon. Roberts Wesleyan women's tennis on Friday takes on St. Thomas Aquinas College at 4 o'clock. Couple of events on Saturday, the Challenge on the Canal, a crew event hosted by Hobart and William Smith. You can catch Fisher, U of R, and RIT at that event in Geneva. And finally on Saturday, it's the Mike Woods Invitational, a cross-country event at Letchworth Park featuring runners from Brockport, Geneseo, Nazareth, the U of R, and RIT. That is our College Sports Beat calendar. Well, with the fall season in full swing now, here's how some Section 5 alums are doing at colleges outside of Rochester in a segment we call Postcards from College. Farden Allen at Seton Hill University is having a good start to his season. He had 5 tackles and his 2nd interception of the year in a win over Kutztown. Former Brockport running back Denzel Knight has led Wagner University to a 2-0 start. Knight has 251 yards and 2 touchdowns in those 2 victories. Santita Egbenwizi continues to impress at Syracuse, getting 8 kills and 2 blocks against Illinois State. That's the good news. The bad news, Cuse is 0-8. And Matt Gamble, fresh from Webster Schrader, started his career at Notre Dame off right, going 2-1 in singles action at the Harvard Chowder Fest. Those are our postcards from college. Coming up next, our honor roll of teams and a look at the dominant Brockport volleyball team and their quest to outdo themselves. All that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Roberts Wesleyan Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Roberts Wesleyan College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the St. John Fisher Athletes of the Week, brought to you by St. John Fisher College. Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Here is our honor roll of local college teams. At number 3, RIT Women's Soccer has won 3 in a row, beating Fredonia 1-0. The Tigers are 4-1-1. At number 2, Fisher Football is 3-0. They beat number 15, SUNY Cortland, 31-24, so they should look to move up from their 21st ranking. And topping the list, Brockport Women's Volleyball is now 12-2 after going 3-1 at the Brockport Invitational. Sam Holdridge had 24 kills and 2 wins on Saturday versus Lycoming and Canton. And we're going to stay in Brockport for our Spotlight Team of the Week. The Golden Eagles won the SUNYAC title last season. Where do they go from there? Here's Kim Burnson with the answer.
It was one of the best seasons in team history. The Brockport Golden Eagles women's volleyball team went 34-2 while adding a SUNYAC title to their resume in 2015. If you ask head coach Steve Pike what sparked that type of run, he attributes it to one thing.
It came from their hard work and all the time that they've spent in the gym, like you see now, before practice, after practice, and they just love to compete. I think that we love the fact that it's a fight every day in our gym to get better and to be good, and so it's a fight to get on the court. So when we get to see an opponent, sometimes that's kind of a little bit of a different challenge.
Fast forward just a season later, it seems the Golden Eagles have only reloaded their roster. They're returning their top 6 dig getters and 2 top blockers. They've also added a special talent to the coaching staff.
Anytime you lose people from your program, it changes things a lot. And so we lost 3 people that contributed a ton to our program last year and our assistant coach. But we have a core of returning athletes that have done a great job of being leaders on and off the court and are working hard. And then it's been great to have someone new come in and give us some different viewpoints from a successful program. So to have Becca join our program and having won a lot and been really successful in high school, college, that's been good to add.
Assistant coach Becca Borquist isn't only new to the program, but new to coaching. As a former player herself, she adds a new dynamic to this talented team. It was just last season that Borquist captained a team that was the SUNYAC runner-up. She was also named Co-Conference Player of the Year.
So last year I played for SUNY Paul's and we had lost in the conference finals here. And I've noticed Pike just being a really awesome coach, and so as soon as we lost pretty much, I was under the impression that this was exactly where I wanted to be, coaching under him and learning as much as I could to be a better coach.
What's it like having an assistant coach who was just recently in the same place you are now?
Honestly, I loved it because I played against Becca and I blocked against Becca, so who better to tell me how to block, how to play, because she knows my tendencies and my weaknesses. So she picked on those, and now she's helping me to improve those weaknesses.
I actually love Becca. Becca's awesome, so she's definitely a great addition to the team, but she definitely has insights because she was in the same conference we were, so she has the same insight on like teams we've played, or knows players or their tendencies from other teams, so it helps out a lot.
The goal is to make sure everyone is constantly improving, even the coaches themselves.
Do you ever find yourself coaching a coach?
Yeah, I think we're always coaching each other because we know when we get better as a coach, then our whole program gets better. If we just coach one kid, that's one person getting better. But if we get better, then the whole program gets better. So we are talking a lot about how do we get better, how do we communicate differently, because it's a challenge every day.
A lot of technical things. Pike has a lot of knowledge on volleyball that I kind of didn't even really know was there. And so a lot of like technical little things, just how to scout a team and how to prepare well for another team in competition.
One of the most unique things about this team is their no captains policy. Each player is held accountable for their actions and improvements throughout the season.
I think one of the things that we are working on constantly is that everyone lead themselves well. And so we don't have captains. We haven't in 3 years. And so a number of people are leading in different ways. And so we're kind of letting people use their strengths in different areas. So I don't know that we have one person that stepped up, but a bunch of people have picked up different parts.
We have everyone as a leader. We have blocking leaders, we have defensive leaders, we have offensive leaders. Everyone steps up when need be.
The Golden Eagles are starting off 2016 strong and look like they're well on their way to yet another SUNYAC title. That's not the only standard they hope to reach.
We've got some outcome goals and some process goals. On the outcome side, it was to repeat as the SUNYAC Championships. The NCAA tournament was nice and we liked getting in, but the Sweet 16 is kind of another outcome goal for us. A big one is a 3.35 GPA. That would get us an All-American status as a team, and last year we were at 3.34, so we were pretty close. And we've got some process goals along the way about getting better every day.
I'm Kim Burnson with the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat.
Go. Hey, Coach Husband, did you do this? Up or down? Lower. Thank you. Well, thanks, Kim, and thanks everyone for watching, and a special thanks to our sponsors, including Fidelis Care, for making the College Sports Beat possible. We'll see you back here next week.